Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Heather Deniston, and this is the Junk You Should Know show, but it's the junk show on the go. And I'm trying to do one of those every other week because, first of all, I think better when I walk. So you might find me a little more articulate than usual today. Or not, we'll see. I'm in Vancouver, and I am not quite downtown Vancouver yet. Hey, Dawn. And I'm heading to meet a friend, and then I'm going to my sister's house for her birthday dinner. So I am really looking forward to that, but I wanted to make sure that I got online for the junk show. Bit late, but that's okay. We are talking about your wellness pit crew. And if you're like, what the heck is a pit crew? Stay tuned. You're going to find out. So a couple things. We are historically under more stress, unprecedented stress, like we've never experienced before. And by stress, I mean chemical, emotional, mental, physical. And by physical stress, our issues with sitting is a massive stressor. Our immobility, our the way that we weekend warrior and things like that is incredibly stressful. And so when I talk about a wellness pit crew, that came from understanding that, guess what, guys? We can't stay as well as we need to be completely in a vacuum on our own, in isolation, without support. So as I have coached people over the years, what I have found is that they do absolutely their best with their wellness strategy, goals, and aspirations when they are surrounded by a team who can fill in the gaps where they don't have expertise and provide motivation and support and encouragement when the going gets rough. Hi, whoever just joined, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. So, a wellness pit crew by design, and how fun that I just watched Ford and Ferrari 2 nights ago. And if you haven't seen it, it is fantastic. They have a pit crew, and the pit crew is a finely tuned, very efficient, I'll use the word catalyst to getting from A to B or A to Z way faster. And when I actually looked up pit crew before I was going to be talking to you, I found out that there's only 5 guys allowed over the wall, they call it. I'm not a NASCAR person, so I don't know any of these things. But they each have a very specific job. And some of the jobs are very, by appearance, simple. And, oh great, Dawn, nice to have you from Wisconsin. And by simple, I mean one guy's main job in a pit crew is to hold the splash tray for when they're pouring the gas in the car so that the gas doesn't go everywhere. And so this is going to come into play in just a minute, because as we talk about who your wellness pit crew could be, how you curate it, how you design it, you're going to see that some people are going to have very teeny tiny roles. Hi, Hillary. So we've just talked about stressors and the degree to which we are under stress, which has never been seen in history before, and how because of that, we can't do this thing on our own. We need a team of support. And so what does that look like? Well, I'm going to start with a little story about Linda. Linda was a patient of mine, and Linda came in. I'd been seeing her for quite a while. She was a Microsoft executive, and always in a good mood and lovely, but she came in a little somber. And I said, what's going on? And she said, Doc, I need you to help me with my lip. And I'm like, Linda, I'm a chiropractor. Don't really know what you need help with your lip for, but why don't you tell me a little bit about it? And she said, not my lip, my Linda improvement plan. And I said, well, tell me a little bit more about that. She said, and got very serious. She said, for the past 2 decades, I've been raising boys and advancing a career, and I have lost sight of myself. I look in the mirror, I don't know who I am. I have tried over the last 6 to 8 weeks to start trying to turn this around on my own. I can't do it. I understand how project management works. I need a team of support. I am going to make Linda my own project, so I need a Linda improvement plan, and I need you to help. I said, of course. I would help. I would love to. So Linda and I, and Reed, a physical therapist, Derek Decatur, a trainer, and a coworker of hers, got together and helped Linda come up with a plan, implement the plan, and get incredibly powerful change that was so inspiring. It made me think about this wellness pit crew idea and run with it and develop it over the last many years. I strongly believe that it works for anyone who is working towards specific health and wellness goals, and it works in such a way that we can stop grinding and driving and forcing ourselves, and we can really do it elegantly through a team of support. But, okay, I gotta show you this. Like, take a look. Here we go. Hello, beautiful Vancouver, even on a gray day. These trees are gorgeous. They have beautiful moss on them. I'm walking right down the center of the road. I hope I don't get lost. Here's the thing. Your team of support has to look very particular. You have to ask yourself some somewhat probing questions, like, do I need to be working on some internal stories, some past trauma that's limiting me from reaching my potential in my wellness pursuits? And so that might look like counseling that you haven't considered before. You might need some group work. You might need a new kind of doctor that you hadn't thought about before, or some kind of specialist, physical therapist, acupuncture, chiropractor, massage. My recommendation to you is that you take a piece of paper, you write out what your key metrics are for how you want to improve your wellness, whether that's losing weight, getting more fit, becoming more mindful, and then you strategically just brain dump a list of people, whether you think they can pertain to you or not, who typically can support those types of things. And then you're going to go through and you're going to pick and choose. Who of those people do you need to employ in this next 90-day period to be on your wellness team? Now, there are people who should not be on your team, and I want you to listen to this very closely. I have seen this mistake made many, many times. I can pretty much say anyone in your inner circle should not be on your team. Here's why. Your inner circle is intertwined with you emotionally and historically and loves you for who you are right now, which is awesome. Many times, wellness aspirations are going to include some change. When you lose 30 pounds, you're a different person. When you prioritize working out 5 days a week, you're a different person. When you become less apt to throwing back 9 cocktails in an evening, you're a different person. And very often those people in your inner circle kind of like who you are right now. And they may not be as vested in your change as you are. They'll get around to it and they'll figure it out once you're there, but they may not be the best people to be on your wellness pit crew. So I'm sure some of you can agree that our spouses aren't necessarily the ones to help us curb our appetites and stick to our food plans. Our best friends aren't necessarily the ones who will consistently help us get out walking. And so I want you to think about that. And also that, like the guy holding the gas tray, there may be somebody who is not even that close of a friend or an acquaintance who you may ask to do something very, very simple like, hey, coworker in the cube next to me, can you just set a reminder in your phone to ask me on Mondays if I hiked on the weekend? That was Linda's. That was one of the key factors that helped her be successful. She had a coworker at work who, which is the definition of a coworker, by the way. She had a coworker who her only job was to say on Mondays, Linda, did you hike over the weekend? To keep her accountable. So just to review, a strategic curation of a wellness pit crew will catalyze you toward great success in your wellness aspirations and goals. They will help you fill in where you have voids in your knowledge or your motivation. They can support you when you want to quit. They can help you change and jib and jibe, as I like to say, when you need to in regard to your program. And they can just be such, like I mentioned, a catalyst for getting you where you want to go. So here's my challenge to you on this junk show on the go. I want you to just write down who your wellness pit crew is going to be. You don't have to tell me who they are, but in the comments, whether you're watching right now, Dawn, Hillary, and whoever else is watching, just put done, that you have done that and you're going to start to implement that. I want to end with a little story about Brene Brown. When I went to Brene Brown, I call it the Brene Brown concert, because we actually did stand up and sing a folk song. But it was a lecture and I loved it. Aside from that, when she came out, part of her talk was, she stood there and she said, I want to introduce you to my brain trust. These are the people who speak into my life, mentor me, motivate me, help me stay on track, help me solve problems. And pictures behind her started flashing up. So Oprah, the CEO from Pixar, the Dalai Lama, and we're all like, dang girl, you've arrived. Because we're all thinking, man, I want a brain trust like that. And when she finished putting up all 5 pictures, she said, and I've never met one of those people, at least not until recently. And she said her brain trust consists of people who speak into her life through their readings, their presentations, their message. She doesn't have to know them for them to be a mentor to her. And so what I want to leave you with finally is, part of your wellness pit crew might be a messenger who you're not actually in personal contact with, but who you follow closely and who inspires you. And so that's okay to have on your wellness pit crew as well. So this is Junk Show on the Go, and I hope you've enjoyed it. This is a nice part of Vancouver. I'm on the west side, and just some beautiful houses. The trees, though, come on. Amazeballs. Look at that. My gosh, I want to take a screenshot of that. I'm taking a screenshot. I hope it's... Okay, so funny. I've never done that before. Okay, so I will see you guys next week. I want to tell you, listen, next week, I've got a gal on who's talking about EMF. So electromagnetic fields. She's going to talk about Wi-Fi. She's going to talk about a lot of great things. It's somebody I've been wanting to have on for a really long time. So do not miss it. Noon next Friday, PST. Hello, Big Jeep. And it's going to be a really good show. And if you missed last week with Valerie Olenek, she was fantastic because she talked about gamification of your wellness plan, and it was brill. So I hope to see you guys next week, and make sure to check out the shows on replay on the YouTube channel, the Well Fit and Fed YouTube channel. If you haven't gone over there and subscribed, do that. I'd love to see you over there, spending lots of time over there, and share this with your friends. Okay, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.